Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a slightly different stream. As you can tell, I am not wearing a Hull City shirt. I am, in fact, wearing Three Lions attire tonight. And I am going to take you through my picks to take to England's World Cup journey to getting knocked out in the round of 16 by Senegal in Qatar, live with you, so we can discuss it together as England fans. And maybe if you're watching from abroad as well, I know there's a few Turkish viewers who watch me because of my coverage of Hull City. So hello and welcome. You can get an insight into the state of English football here. And we have so many ridiculous injuries and players out of form who will probably make it. So, speaking of Turkish following, we've just got on there. Hello, Kerem. Good to see you, mate. How are you? Evening, Charlie. Good to see you, pal. Hello, Tom. Ruben, hello. Lucas, hello. Oh, bottle of Prime. Bottle of Prime. Lucas has got a bottle of Prime, everybody. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I was walking down the corridor at school/college the other day in the main building, not away in the sixth form, and some kid shouted at me, "Yes, Joe, do you want some Prime? It's Meta Moon, not Meta Moon, Meta Moon." So I says, "No, thank you, mate. I'll pass." Not anymore, says Lucas. Not anymore. Right then. So I do apologise if I don't see your messages in chat. And for that reason, Dean, I sadly won't be putting a link on because I will be looking at a separate tab. And then I'll be sharing that tab with you, so I won't be able to constantly just look at chat. And you know what? I'll put the StreamYard up on my iPad, so then I can still see your comments. Right then, let's log in. Let's log in on StreamYard. I thought about this beforehand. I could have done this, but I didn't. Okay. Log in. Nice. How are you, Aaron? All right. It has been a while. And yeah, struggling in League Two for Donny. Wow. To think how times change. Exactly, Phil. Get in there. For God's sake, I need to update my iPad. I'm not doing this. Right. Phone it is. Phone it is. Let's enter the studio and turn that volume right down. We'll crack on. We'll crack on into this in just a little bit. There we go. Right. It's automatically put myself in. That's good. Right. That's done. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug my earphones in so we don't get an echo, albeit minor. Turn that right down just to be sure. Nice one. So, right, I can still see your comments on my phone, so we should hopefully be okay. Jem and Jills as well. Good to hear from you, mate. It's been so long. Jill's now terrible also. Oh dear. Like I said to Aaron, just how times change, man. That's wow. It's Tigers, blah blah blah. My favourite pot, mate. I love Luke. I love Rich, but I do writing for To Hull and Back, and they've stopped. Come on, Luke. Come on, get that podcast back going, mate. I didn't go last night, Sophia. Sadly, I couldn't make it. Many people in Turkey became fans of City. We love and support it. Wow. Yes, you did beat Brentford yesterday. That's very, very good for you. That's good. Fans of Hull City in Turkey. We love to see it, Kerem. And Marcus, only one man we need in midfield at Qatar. The Ginger Perlo and Andy Cannon, mate. No. No, we don't need Andy Cannon, Marcus. Right. Let me just title the spreadsheet. It doesn't look weird. England 26 man. All right. So, is that viewable for you all? Is that big enough? Because I can't move my thing down to the bottom, otherwise it covers some of the players up. And are you joking me? It's because it's sharing. It's not showing the bottom row. Right. Let me zoom out just a tad. Let me zoom out just a little bit. That hasn't worked. That's worked. Can you see that? Yes, you can see that. We are cooking on gas. We are absolutely cooking. We are cooking. I love that. I love that so much. Nice to read mine last. Love it, Marcus. Lucas, good to see you. KLP and Regan Slater, first names on my team sheet. 50 grand. 50 grand. Should I use Transfer Market World Cup squad picker? It's fantastic. Well, I've done this so that I can add my own players in. Yeah, nice. Owen's just joined. Nice to hear from you. Hull Bond now living in Sydney, still following the Tigers. Lovely, Craig. Lovely stuff. Andy Cook going to the World Cup. Don't know who that is. I'm going to assume he's a Bradford player, Lucas. I'm going to assume he's a Bradford player. Right, we're going to crack on then. Any comments will now be brought up on my phone down there. So if I'm looking down there while I'm reading a comment, it's because it's on my phone down there and I'm looking, in fact, at my screen where I have made my squad. And I'm going to come here and talk you through my picks one by one. So what I'll first do is I've created a short list of 60 players. Not the 55 that Gareth Southgate picked. I've made it 60 so that I can do 3 rows of 20 and it's nice. Now, as much as I would love in here to put in, Regan Slater and Jacob Greaves and, KLP, players like that, I'm just going to leave the jokes out of this for now, although we know Gareth Southgate should be picking all 3 of those, and he's just blind. So, right, if you're coming in the stream late, if you're coming to the stream late, then green means I've picked them. There's a standby list and they will be highlighted in yellow on your screen and red not at all. So I've shortlisted 6 goalkeepers. Gone for Jordan Pickford, Aaron Ramsdale, Nick Pope, Dean Henderson, Sam Johnston, and Joe Hart. Defenders-wise, I've shortlisted Kieran Trippier, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kyle Walker, Reece James, Jed Spence, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Kyle Walker-Peters, Luke Shaw, Ben Chilwell, Ryan Sessegnon, Matt Targett, James Justin, Tyrick Mitchell, Dan Burn, John Stones, Harry Maguire, Ben White, Fikayo Tomori, Eric Dyer, Joe Gomez, Tyrone Mings, Connor Cody, Mark Guehi, Adam Webster, Lewis Dunk, Chris Smalling, James Tarkowski, and Ben Godfrey. In central midfield, I've picked Declan Rice. I've shortlisted Declan Rice, Calvin Phillips, Jordan Henderson, Jude Bellingham, James Ward-Prowse, Conor Gallagher, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Sean Longstaff, and Joe Willock. In attacking midfield and on the wings, I've shortlisted Mason Mount, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Eberechi Eze, James Maddison, I almost said Marcus Maddison then, Jesse Lingard, Jared Bowen, Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, Raheem Sterling. And then the strikers I've shortlisted: Harry Kane, Ivan Toney, Tammy Abraham, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Callum Wilson, Ollie Watkins, and Danny Ings. So, we'll have a quick look at chat before we get going. And yeah, Owen Rundle says, I'm calling Southgate now, telling him to get Regan on the plane. Madison's apparently been dropped. Shocking behaviour. Boy George will be picked over him. Who do you mean? Who do you mean there? Not sure who you mean there. Andy Cook is the Bradford striker who scored 2 in 5 minutes. Oh yes, yes he is. 55-man shortlist. Do you think I've got time for that? No. Spence, Lucas. It makes up the numbers, all right. Greaves over Maguire for me. So let's crack further through then. Spence can't even start over Jones at Borough. No, he's at Tottenham now, isn't he? So let's get cracking. And let's get the stock picks out the way first. First of all, I'm just going to make sure I've got 26 names here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. We're cooking on gas. Right. So I think it's quite obvious who the 3 goalkeepers are. And they are these 3. Jordan Pickford, Aaron Ramsdale, and Nick Pope. And for me, I would start them in that order as well. Pickford is your number 1, solid for England, and he's in really good form for Everton at the moment. Aaron Ramsdale, same can be said for Ramsdale, in really good form at Arsenal. He's good with his feet, as is Pickford, and that's why he's number 2 over Pope. Plus, he has the raw shot-stopping ability to match what Pope has got as well. But for Ramsdale, I wouldn't play him in this tournament purely because we've got Pickford there, who is in form and has more tournament experience. Ramsdale will get his chance, just not now. And Pope is the most solid of third-choice goalkeepers any team will have at this tournament for me. My reserve goalkeeper on standby will, of course, be Dean Henderson, meaning that Sam Johnson, I know he's absolutely in the 55-man squad that Southgate has picked, but he's the next Jack Butland. He's the modern-day Jack Butland, just rotting on Crystal Palace's bench. And I put Joe Hart in there on my shortlist purely because he is... he's the only English goalkeeper to have played Champions League football this year and 80 caps almost for England. But his time has been, and it's almost insulting to give him a call now and just say, do you want to be in a 55-man squad? And by the way, we're not going to take you. I think that's pretty insulting. Boy George and I'm a celeb. I am watching it. I'm looking forward to tonight when Matt Hancock gets tortured. Marcus Edwards from Sporting. That's a really good shout. That's one I didn't think of, but I still don't think he'll have made my 26, whether I wrote him down on here or not. But that's goalkeepers done, and they are quite possibly the easiest 3 to pick from. And Dean Henderson's unlucky. Forest have had a tough time this year, and he's done well with some, chest bumping, middle finger into Liverpool fans and a few penalty saves. But no, these 3 that I've selected in green are well clear. So for now, let's get the stock ingredients out of the way for right back, where there's a lot. But Reece James is out. Reece James is going to miss the World Cup. That is confirmed. Jed Spence also won't go. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I'm not doing England a disservice of having him on that list. So he's going over there and getting readied. He was mainly just there to make up the numbers, yeah. Kyle Walker-Peters is another one who will just miss out. And by the way, the ones that are in italics are the injured players. But despite the injury, I would take Kyle Walker, because it's not like with Reece James where he's 100% out. It's not like with Calvin Phillips where he hasn't played much football at all before his injury, so wouldn't be deserving of a place on the plane on form and because of the injury. Walker, he's close to full fitness, and he played games at the start of this season pre-injury. So he's on there, plus his tournament experience. But we'll come back to tournament experience and why I haven't picked certain players later on. So that leaves these 2 guys, Trippier and Trent. For me, Trippier is the starting right back in a back four. If we were playing a back five with maybe Walker coming back in as a third centre back, I'd start Trent at wing back. Trent has got quite lucky, I will admit, with the fact that James is injured, because I think if Reece James was fit, Trent wouldn't be going to the World Cup. And if Walker was fully fit, it would be even more of a foregone conclusion. But yeah, I think Trent will go just about. And to be fair, I do think Trent's mistakes are slightly amplified by the fact the media, and it's more well documented now that defensively he is poor, and every little mistake the media do now pick up on. But attacking wise, his attacking ability and his passing range is absolutely his best asset. And set pieces, free kicks. Set pieces, free kicks. Him and Trippier are quality at those. Plus James Ward-Prowse if I choose to take him as well. In fact, I am just going to grey that. I'm going to red that square out. Because, yeah, Wan-Bissaka does not... In fact, no, I'm going to make it more obvious that Wan-Bissaka was there, but he doesn't deserve to be associated with these lot. At left back then, we'll move over. I'll have a quick look at chat. Edwards shouldn't go, but should be considered, in my opinion, very underrated player. Thank you for that contribution, Sam. Lucas says Trippier and Trent right back. Sessegnon and Shaw left back. We'll move on to those now. And Sam thinks Trent has the capabilities to play in a right central midfield role. Interesting. I do agree, but I just don't think now is the time to try that out in tournament football, especially when we've got these guys all that can play in a midfield role. So Chilwell is injured. That's a disappointment for Ben Chilwell, really. I think James Justin would be my standby option because he can play both sides. So if another one, or I know he's got a knock at the minute, but he should be fine a bit later on in the month. But if Trent gets injured, if Trippier gets injured, if Walker has to drop out because he doesn't recover quickly enough, Justin, for me, is the backup option because he can play both sides. Tyrick Mitchell, just not quite yet. The same can be said for Matt Targett. And Dan Burn, I'm going to leave Dan Burn for a little bit further, later on in the video. But for me, it's quite clear the two left backs going to the tournament should be Luke Shaw and Ryan Sessegnon. Sessegnon, everyone was screaming at Southgate to get Sessegnon in the World Cup for 2018, and he's only just scraping into the squad in 2022. I think Sessegnon wouldn't be going if Chilwell was fit. I think that's really obvious, but he's playing well for Tottenham, and I think he's one that should be going as Shaw's backup with Chilwell now absent. So we'll move on to centre backs. As Dean has said that he has made his World Cup starting 11. Actually, I'll put a banner on the bottom of the screen. The screen looks quite bare, doesn't it? It looks really, really quite bare tonight. My 6, 9. There we go. That's the one. The screen doesn't look so bare now. That's lovely. So centre backs. I'm just going to get the stock ingredients out of the way. John Stones will go. I personally, it's no question, I'd take White and Tomori. Godfrey will move down the list, injured. Tarkowski's had a decent season, but no. Smalling, consistent at Roma. But then all of these guys really aren't in consideration for me. I'd take Conor Cody because after the Euros, all the players were saying, look, and Gareth Southgate was saying, look, Cody, he never got on the pitch, but he was such a big dressing room presence that it's a crying shame he did not. So I'd take Cody. And now Maguire is the interesting one. And Eric Dyer. We'll come back to Dan Burn in a moment. But Dyer started the season pretty well, but now has dramatically tailed off. So he would be, for me, the standby option. And Maguire, I would not be taking. I've banged on about tournament experience, but you have to couple that with good form and playing consistently. Maguire has got neither of those things at Man United at the moment. So that's why he's not there. And Dyer is my backup option. Now, that only leaves me with 4 centre-backs. And now this is my first big curveball of my selections. If you count not taking Maguire as one of those, Dan Burn is on my plane to Qatar. I'm just going to see what chat say to that. Owen comes straight in, but we all know Southgate doesn't go on form. I know he doesn't. But I understand for a tournament, experience a little bit, but you have to couple that with good form, like I've said. And now I'm going to explain to you why I have picked Dan Burn. I can see Ruben has just said no. But look, Gehi does need to be talked about more. I do agree with that to some extent. Ruben says Dyer in. Now, look, Dan Burn this season, he shouldn't be I've got an agreeer. Lucas agrees. Burn definitely goes for me. Right, so Dan Burn, he's a 7-foot giant with 4 fingers. He shouldn't be so good at left back, but covering for Matt Targett while he's been injured, he has been really, really good. And what my squad lacks at the moment with Stones, White, Tomori and Cody is a left-footed centre-half. We all know that's the only reason Tyrone Mings has played for England. The fact that as a centre-half, he is left-footed. Dan Burn is a left-footed option, yes, but he's in form and has proven he can play left-back in case of emergency at Newcastle this year. He's flourished under Eddie Howe in a team in the top 4. And for me, he shouldn't be overlooked. So Dan Burn is going. Brun and Dyer, 2-class centre-backs. Oh, come on. Ruben's just saying no. Ruben doesn't agree with me. Ruben hates me. Charlie says Dan Burn goes. Tom says, I can't give an opinion. Haven't watched a single Newcastle United game. Other than United, I don't remember seeing him. Dean agrees with me. Charlie says, Dyer stays in London. Hello, Chloe. Yeah, Dan Burn goes. Dan Burn stays home. Dan Burn goes. Look, I think I've angered Ruben a little bit here. And I do apologise for that. He's just spamming no in the chat. This is brilliant. I've caused a storm. I've caused an absolute storm in Ruben's household. He's just tearing down the walls now. He's like, just pick Dyer. Why's Joe pick Dyer? No, why's Joe not pick Dyer? Why's Joe not pick Dyer? Oh, God. I'll get Paul Woodford to give you a permanent ban if you're not more active in the chat. Sorry, Lucas. I'm sorry. Right. Let's move on. Central midfielders. Stock ingredients out of the way first. Declan Rice goes. Jordan Henderson goes. Right, so let me tick all of these off on my sheet. Jordan Henderson goes. Jude Bellingham goes. James Ward-Prowse goes. Now, Calvin Phillips is the interesting one. For me, because he's one of Southgate's favourites, he'll be on the standby. And if Rice and or Henderson both get injured, we don't have a holding midfielder to come in and replace them on the standby list without Phillips. So for me, he goes in. Gallagher is unfortunate to miss out. I think if he had stuck it out with another year at Crystal Palace on loan, I think he could be in with a really good shout, playing week in, week out, but he just isn't doing it. And for that, I can't put him in the squad, regardless of quality. Loftus-Cheek, no. Sean Longstaff, I put in there because he's had a bit of a revival under Eddie Howe, and he's playing all right, just as opposed to being dreadful under Steve Bruce, but it's still a no. The same goes for Joe Willock. His goals have dried up under Eddie Howe, but his overall contribution to the team, coming from some Newcastle fans, his overall contribution is a lot more than just the goals that have regressed slightly. Let's have another look. Ruben is not happy at Bellingham. Now, I can understand Dyer and Dan Burn, Ruben, but being fuming at Jude Bellingham when, as Lucas rightly says, he's our best midfielder, it's... Yeah, you haven't really got a leg to stand on there, Ruben. I'm sorry. I am very, very sorry. I am very sorry. Tom says, I think Bellingham might have picked up a slight knock against Wolfsburg yesterday. Don't really know if it's true. Only saw a video of him going down. Well, we'll find out, won't we? Get me on the old Grandpa Joe channel. I will speak facts. Get me on the channel. Look, Ruben. I'm just going to say to you, the fact that you don't agree that Bellingham is an easy pick in this squad is it's not great for your standing in chat, to be honest. Boo! Bellingham's class. Bellingham is class. France have just released their squad, and Nathan Jones announced for Southampton. Let's have a look who's in France's squad then. France have only taken 25. Didier Deschamps has picked Lloris, Areola, and Mondonda. Pavard, Koundé, Varane, Kimpembe, Saliba goes. Lucas Hernandez, Teo Hernandez, Konate, and Upamecano. Midfielders are Rabiot, Tchouameni, Fofana, Guendouzi, Veretout, and Camavinga. In attack, Koeman, Mbappe, Benzema, Giroud, Griezmann, Dembele, and Nkunku. Injuries leave out Pogba, Kante, and Mike Maignan, and Varane has only just been deemed fit enough to make the squad. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Is Smalley in contention? Not really, no. Not really. I thought Varane wouldn't make it either. I didn't think he'd make it either. Owen agrees with Phillips. He isn't playing much, but isn't he injured? He is. Phillips, he's coming back to fitness. And the reason I've put him on my standby is because if Rice and Henderson both get injured, the cover is less readily available for holding midfield. I will be annoyed if you do not put Grealish and Foden. We need Dua Lipa in Qatar to get the... What, Marcus, where has that come from? No says, why is Trent going? He's not England worthy. Take Coyle instead. Fact. Let's get Coyle on the plane. Right. So, stock ingredients again for this attacking role, and this is as well as the reason why I've this again evidence is why I've put Phillips in my in my standby and not someone like Gallagher or Loftus-Cheek, because we can have the cover who can drop in. We've got Trent who can maybe, as we mentioned earlier in the stream, play as a holder or a right-sided centre mid if need be. But stock ingredients, Mason Mount will go. Phil Foden will go. I'm going to chat about Grealish individually in just a moment. Maddison, for me, goes. That's easy. He's so in form, and he's the sort of player who can come on and change a game in a matter of moments. Right, I've highlighted them. Yeah, Mount. Hang on, have I not put? I've not written Saka down. I've not written Saka. Saka goes in over Eze. I missed Saka off my list. Right. How I did that, I don't know. Saka goes. Just let me check who else I've got written down. So Mount, Saka, Foden, Sterling, and Rashford both go. And as does James Maddison. So Sancho, I am leaving at home. He hasn't been good enough this year. Not at all. Hasn't been good enough at all. Maddison has reportedly not made it. Shambles. That is a shame. That is a shame. That is a real shame. Lucas, Ruben, your ball knowledge is scarily embarrassing. Oh dear. Ruben says he will speak more facts. Grealish is a bouncy hair merchant. Right. Jesse Lingard moved to Forest to try and get in the England squad. It hasn't worked and it's failed, and they're trying to offload him in January. Get Sancho on. Ruben, what planet are you on? Are you just not watching football this year? Bowen is on standby for me. If he'd have continued his form from the end of last season into this, he's a shoo-in for this team, but just hasn't made it for me. And Jack Grealish is on my standby. Jack Grealish is on my standby list. So, surprised Sancho isn't on at least the thing over Lingard. I just wrote them in a random order, mate. I wrote them in a random order. As a United fan, Sancho should not go. Yeah, agreed. He shouldn't go. I know you're a Hull City fan, Ruben, but come on, you can't be saying that. Like, oh man, I don't. That all the stuff you're saying, booing Bellingham's inclusion. I'm sorry, but it's poor ball knowledge on your part, pal. I am very sorry. But Grealish, for me, stays at home unless of an injury. If Mount, Foden, Saka, Maddison, Rashford or Sterling get injured, Grealish is the first option you put in there over Bowen, easy. But Maddison's in better form and has the same game-changing ability that Grealish has. That's as simple as it gets. Maddison's in better form. Grealish is struggling. Ever since he mugged off Almiron has trounced him. Almiron has absolutely trounced him. Harry, if Grealish is better than Mount, he may well be, in your opinion, and that's coming from a Birmingham fan, but form. Grealish isn't playing. Mount is. Mount is doing relatively well for Chelsea. There's a reason every manager that he's played for likes him. And that's why why Maddison goes for me over him. Get Bowen over Maddison. You're just chucking claims out now, Ruben. You're just chucking claims out. Right, going up front, Kane goes. That's easy. Watkins and Ings both miss out. I think Calvert-Lewin might be injured, but I've forgotten to asterisk it. Sorry, put it in italics. I'll double check. Yeah, Calvert-Lewin is injured. So he's off the table. So that leaves us back up to Harry Kane. We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That leaves with 2 spots to go. 2 backup strikers, and it's between Ivan Toney, Tammy Abraham, and Callum Wilson. Now, if you look at the goal scoring records this year, this is what makes the decision for me. This is what makes the decision. For me, Toney and Wilson go, and Abraham is left on standby. Toney and Wilson, 100%. Yep. Abraham should stay at home. Been poor form this season. Toney and Abraham get Bowen and Grealish in. Boo. Toney and Wilson for me. Ruben, you're choosing the worst players. God, wow. So yeah, for me, the goal scoring figures tell you everything really. If we go to on the Premier League site, let me have a look. It's going to be under players, isn't it? The stats for this year. Or is it? Tickets, results tables, awards, Hall of Fame. I can't find the stats. Right. Let me have a search. Results tables. Is it under tables? I can't find where the Premier League put their stats. Awards. Is it under awards? Hall of Fame. It won't be under there, will it? More. I found it. That was so hard, wasn't it, Joe? Well done. Pope should start as first choice in goal, I personally think. Well, I think it's proven that the way England play with the goal, with the ball at the keeper's feet, Pope just doesn't suit it at the moment. Joe, incredible ball knowledge, not going to lie. Near enough spot on for me, pretty much my 26-2. Thank you very much, Lucas. Get Ruben on talked about instead of Cabby Agbon. To be fair, Ruben would talk more sense. Ruben, I'm not scrapping you. I'm not scrapping you, mate. I'm not scrapping you. I don't need to scrap you because I know I'm right. So, let's have a look. Goal scoring list. So, Ivan Toney has 8 goals this season and has played he's played 13 games this season in the Premier League, has Ivan Toney, and he has 8 goals. Callum Wilson has played 10 games for Newcastle this season and has got 6 goals. Tammy Abraham has 2 goals and 2 assists in Serie A this year. For me, that isn't rewarding of a place on the plane. If it was on last season's form and the season before that's form, he's in there. But he isn't. He isn't in that form at the moment. So I wouldn't take him. And Toney, Lewis says Ivan Toney not on the plane. Ruben, Ruben, mate, you're what, year 7 or 8? And I'm in the 6th form. I'm not going to scrap you. I'm sorry, mate. And plus, I'm not there at break tomorrow. It's my what is it? It's my morning off. That's what it is. It's my morning off. Get Dyer, no. Take Danny Ings instead, no. Yeah, maybe not Abraham now. I've heard that. Ruben, mate, I'm not scrapping you. I'm not scrapping you. I don't need to fight you. Jesus Christ. So yeah, that is my team, everybody. I'll quickly just copy them all in there so that you can see them all. Oh, what's happened there? So, right, hang on. This is. Why has it not copied them? What is going on here? There we go. So how much space have I got? I've got 3 that I can fit in there. Those are my picks, ladies and gents. And then quickly, just my standby list for those who are that interested is this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on standby, 26 in the squad. Very, very good. That is my England team. That is my England team. Personally, I am very, very happy with it. I am very, very happy. What I think Keane's starting is he starting for Brentford now? Oh, that's good. That's cool. I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with that at all. Justin was stretchered off last night, apparently. That's interesting. Well, on FPL it says it's a knock. So we'll find out, won't we? But if Justin can't make it, then I will pick. Is Kyle Walker-Peters fit? Because I remember him getting injured a bit ago. Yeah, he's injured. Walker-Peters is injured as well. So otherwise, he's my replacement for Justin. But no, he's injured. In which case, I don't know who I'd put in on my in case of standby then. But realistically, nobody who drops off the standby list needs to be replaced because they're only there in case anyway. So I'll just quickly one more time take you through my England team then, where I've gone for my 3 goalkeepers: Jordan Pickford, Aaron Ramsdale, and Nick Pope. My right backs: Kieran Trippier, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Kyle Walker. My left backs: Luke Shaw and Ryan Sessegnon. My centre backs: John Stones, Ben White, Fikayo Tomori, Connor Cody, and Dan Burn. In central midfield: Declan Rice, Jordan Henderson, Jude Bellingham, and James Ward-Prowse. Attacking midfield or wide players: Mason Mount, Phil Foden, Bukayo Saka, James Maddison, Marcus Rashford, and Raheem Sterling, with Harry Kane, obviously the first name in the squad realistically, and his backups Ivan Toney and Callum Wilson. My standby list: Dean Henderson, James Justin, Eric Dyer, Calvin Phillips, Jack Grealish, Jared Bowen, and Tammy Abraham. Do I think Southgate will take such decisions as I have? Absolutely not. Southgate will not take Dan Burn. I think Ben White and Tomori, I think only one of them will go. I think Calvin Phillips might get in that squad straight away. I think where it's been reported today, Maddison won't go. One of Toney or Wilson will miss out, I think. And I think Maguire will certainly be in that squad, whereas I have left him out entirely. So that is it. That is it. That's it. That's it done. That's us. That's us done. Let me just remove myself from the stream there. Apparently, Ellie whispers White, Wilson, and Rashford are on the plane. That's encouraging. That's encouraging. Ruben wants to tell us the proper England team. Well, Ruben, I won't see you about tomorrow, because, like I say, it's my morning off, and I'll only come in very last minute at lunch before my lesson. But if you want to send, if on our, what do you call it? If on our shared school email address, you want to send me an email with your England squad, if you want to drop me a message of what your England squad would be, or if you want to have a chat to me about it on Friday, feel free. But I just know that I am right. I think I am right, Ruben. I'm sorry. And I'm very, very pleased at the fact I have been christened as having incredible ball knowledge by Lucas. I'm very pleased with that. I'm happy with my squad, and I think that is a squad that would get knocked out in the round of 16 instead of the group stage of this World Cup. Oh, Christ. See, if we play attacking football, we'll be fine. If we play attacking football, we'll be good. We'll be fine and we'll do well. But Southgate won't. He'll play 7 holding midfielders, 14 centre-backs and 2 goalies with Harry Kane up front. That is just how it will work. Hello, Ishak. How are you? Southeast of Turkey. Wow. I bet it's nice and warm there. Very pleased with that. Very, 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 very nice place. Nice part of the world is Turkey. And I look great. Thank you. I look great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I've just had a haircut this afternoon. Nice. Oh, Ruben will DM me it now. You know what? I think we stay on. Just until Ruben has DM'd me his picks. I think this has to happen. I think this has to happen. I think we have to see what greatness Ruben is going to pass on to us here. So, Ruben, I'm seeing your messages, mate. If you've got this on in the background, I am seeing your messages. I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait until Ruben sends me his squad. Lewis's squad is Pickford, Pope and Ramsdale, Walker, Trent, Trippier and Shaw, Maguire, Stones, Tomori, Mings and White, Henderson, Bellingham, Rice, Maddison, Mount and Foden. Meanwhile, Ishak says we have to be champion in this league. We can do everything in Premier League. Good vibes. Kane, Abraham, Wilson. Nice. Very, very nice. Ruben has just sent me his goalkeepers. Pickford, Pope and Ramsdale. And then Saka for Lewis, Saka, Grealish, Rashford, Bowen and Sterling. So for Ruben, it's Pickford, Pope and Ramsdale, Dyer, Maguire, Stones and Cody. Still waiting. Waiting with bated breath. The tension is palpable in my room at the moment. I'm seeing Ruben's typing. Trippier, Walker, Sessegnon, Shaw. Okay. Still waiting. Still going. Still going. Yes, why is everyone saying Dyer? I don't understand it. Put this in his Instagram show for whoever makes Rufus sleep at night. Sessegnon White is apart from Shaw, probably he's our best. He's our best option. He's actually learning English with my videos. That's incredible. Incredible. That's mad. Wow. So Ruben has gone for Pickford, Pope, and Ramsdale as his 3 goalkeepers. Dyer, Maguire, Stones, and Cody as his 4 centre-backs. Trippier, Walker, Sessegnon, and Shaw as his full-backs. Grealish, Foden, Mount, and Sterling so far, and Harry Kane. That's his starting... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's... So you're on 13 so far, Ruben. He's just said, or Ollie Watkins. And on that note, I think when Ollie Watkins is being picked, I think that's where we need to end the stream. Right. Thank you very, very much for watching this one, everyone. It's been really, really good fun. And I'm going to try and do a lot of World Cup content over the next month or so, well, until England get knocked out anyway, which won't be long. I've been to Turkey. I went to Ishmael a few years ago. I went to Ishmael in 2019 and was due to go in 2020, but COVID put a stop to that, sadly. And yeah, it's a part of the world I'd love to go back to, is Turkey. It's a lovely, lovely part of the world. I enjoyed my time there in Ishmael. All the people were really friendly, and it's a place I'd love to go back, especially now with our connections as a football club to Acun and the Turkish fan base over there. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do drop a like on the stream and subscribe if you are new. And on that note, I shall see you on Friday for the final Hull City match preview before the World Cup. Thank you for watching. Take care and goodbye.